Hello everyone, Rare Model Reviews here, and today I got a package. No, not really. We actually have the long-awaited Evangelion 3. Now, I actually did get some Gundam models, but obviously I'm not going to review or unbox those. But first and foremost, I just want to thank you guys so much for your patience. I know you've all been waiting to see this guy reviewed for a while now. I could tell just by the amount of people that just checked out the unboxing I had put out for this thing some time ago. So we're just gonna jump straight into this thing. First of all, with the colors, because one thing I want to mention is the color separation of this thing is incredible. I painted like pretty much nothing on this thing here. Um, I did completely decal this thing, so just about everything with words here, that's going to be decals. So you have the Evangelion production model 3 here on the arms, even this little pieces here or wording here, that's decals. All the pinstripes around the legs here in white, those are decals. These little numbers on the little kneecaps there, again decal. All of this. Now the one thing I did paint is the little black holes in where the engine pillar goes there. That's just molded in red, but besides that, like even the little soles of the feet here, these are all pieces you put into this thing. It just looks incredible, I have to say. So I'm really impressed with this thing. And it was interesting, it has like these silver decals you put in the legs here, which kind of helps give it this little mechanical type feel, and I really just like enjoy that a lot. So at this point, I think the next thing we can go into now is just articulation. So first and foremost, the head can do a complete 360 exorcist style, which really fits this guy. You should know why if you watch the show or series, I would say. The head articulation is incredible, by the way. Like it goes back and forth, up decently far, down a little bit. I guess I'll go ahead and do the mouth. Mouth has a really interesting joint where it opens multiple ways. A little hard to. There it go. So you can get this thing pretty far down, almost dislocate the jaw. And one thing I want to mention, I don't know if you can see that, but the roof of the mouth I actually painted red because that's just molded in white. And let me see. I guess we'll go to like the, oops. That's one thing I want to mention this thing. The way they connect the little binders here for the shoulders are very flimsy, and something came off. Okay, I think I know what it was. Yeah, so the shoulder binders are put on very flimsily. Oh, that's even worse. A whole piece of the binder here came off, actually. Jeez. There we go. At least it comes back on easy. This little piece here moves up, so that helps move the arm out. And this piece here is going to kill me. There we go. So anyway, the shoulders can go move forward and back. Because the binder, you can't really move, the arm's a little bit restricted. If you finesse it, you can kind of spin a 360, as you can see. The arm here is like a perfect bend. And then it actually has this little interesting joint here in the arm where you could kind of move the forearm like that. The hand. If you take it out of the little groove here, it's on a ball joint, so you can spin it around, move it up and down like so. So there's a lot you can do with this thing for sure. Now the torso, I'm very disappointed in. I was expected to actually surpass Unit Gamma's articulation because it doesn't really move at all. The waist has a little bit of side to side from like kind of the hips. One thing though it does have over the Gamma though is this back articulation here. You can see all these segments are individual, and you get like a pretty good ab crunch and whatnot from that. Let me see. The legs has this weird joint where it's like it kind of rotates like this, and it's like they're kind of connected. However, that's going to be a flaw I'm going to grab on this thing, and I'll get into it a little later. But if you wanted to move this thing a lot more securely, you have to hold one of the legs down. Otherwise, it gets really loose when you start moving around, and you cannot do a split in this thing, which I'm disappointed about. Let me see. The leg here, again, perfect bend, however. And it has like this kind of, if you can see that with the calves, how that piece kind of comes out as you move it, so that's really cool. Going on to the ankles. Ankle can move side to side pretty good. Front and back, decent a bit. And then this little piece here in the ankle moves as well. It's like on a ball joint. So what I was grappling about with the waist movement is, although it has that interesting joint you've seen where they kind of move together, you kind of have to still lock it into place. Otherwise, this thing gets really loose and fragile. And when you get to more intricate poses, like, let's say, trying to have this guy stand up like this, if you don't have the waist segment here locked into place, it loses a lot of its stability and it wants to fall. So now I have it locked in, but if I were to move it like so, as you see, it gets loose and this thing wants to topple over, like it just kind of throws off the balance. But still though, if you can finesse it right, the stuff you can do with this thing is just incredible. Like there's like no limit to the poses you can do. Again, it's like very stable and balanced. Now, we're gonna go ahead and get into accessories. I guess you could kind of see this as articulation, but I count it as an accessory. Now, the back here can open up, and if you can see that in there, we have the entry plug. Now, you're gonna need some tweezers to get this thing out. Oh boy. But, there we go. You see it has a little entry plug you can put in there. Now, it comes with a little decal you're supposed to be able to wrap around the entry plug here, but this thing is kind of, I mean, I won't really say it's crappy, I just kind of put it on crappy. But as you can see, this is what it look like if you have that decal wrapped around it. Now unfortunately, if you do put this decal on it, it is not recommended you put the entry plug inside of it, as if you do that it could get gummed up in the works. However, I find that you can put it in like so, and it's generally fine. Just don't get it all the way in, or you're going to be in some trouble. Now, I also wanted to do a quick comparison to Gamma's entry plug. So as you can see, Gamma's entry plug is actually smaller than this one, but this one's skinnier, whereas Gamma's a little thicker. So I'm going to go ahead and take this sticker off and put the plug back in. Inside this guy's back here. It's actually a certain way you're supposed to put this into. Oh boy. I want to say it's this side. Yeah, that looks right. So then of course you could just, oops. You see, put it in there and you can seal it back up. But this thing also comes with a pallet rifle here. Move this here. An umbilical cord, which fits into the little hole in the back. Now, this comes with another gripe I have with this thing. I don't know if it's just Unit 3 or what, but this thing does not stay in very well. It's decent right here, but as you start moving this guy around, it's like you find that this thing's held in purely by friction and eventually comes out. Of course, it wants to make me a liar and it wants to stay in perfect. But with this being an Ava kit, it has a bunch of different hands. So going on to the pallet rifle, you have a trigger finger hand, just two pieces that are disconnected, and there's a peg in the bottom of the pallet rifle, which comes with quite a fair bit of stickers too. Like you have all these silver piecings here, even that little yellow piece here. These are all decals, the little nerve insignia. And I just love the color separation on this thing. Like my highlight here is the chrome barrel. That is like a really nice touch. It really helps this thing pop. So of course you put these pieces together, and then the hands. One thing you got to notice, you have to hold this piece into here, because if you don't, the arm would just like blow up on you, because this thing's arm is like a hand grenade. Oh boy, getting this thing in. bit tricky, but there we go. Oh, and that's another gripe. And that's why I didn't spin around the arm here. If you notice, if you move this arm at all, it'll just come right apart, and I can't stand it. But as you can see, it holds the pallet rifle in just fine. Now, one thing I also neglected to mention was these binders here. They actually both go up like so. And they reveal that there are some not pallet knives, progressive knives inside here. You just need to kind of get it out with some pliers there. Oh boy. And as you can see, there you go. It's a folded progressive knife. And I have a sticker over this one as well. Give it that silver shine to it. So, I'm going to get the other hand off here. Okay. Now, you have a pallet, why do I keep calling it pallet knife? A progressive knife there. Unfold it. And you, of course, have two of them, just like the trigger finger hands, if I can get it out. I don't know where I put the other trigger finger hand. Here it is. There we go. So this is actually the pallet knife hand, but progressive knife hand, geesh. I'll stop saying that eventually. But just like the pallet rifle, I have it separated in two pieces. And then you just want to sandwich it together here. Which can be a little tricky because you have to get this thing to hold in by friction and then put the other piece in. Hold on, I can do it. There we go. And I also want to mention there's like a little decals you have on the hands here. This thing just came off. These things not holding very well, the decals. Some of these decals are very loose, or not loose, just not sticky enough. But there you go. After some fighting, as you can see, we now have a Unit 3 arm with both a knife and a pallet rifle. Here it is, now I found it. So of course, here's the other hand for the holding the rifle without the actual rifle on it. And it comes to like assortment of hands. You see we have kind of these grasping hands here, which are probably the main ones I have on. Because I more so want to pose this thing as how it was portrayed in the show. It's just like a villain, bestial type thing. We have, I guess these are more relaxed hands there. And then these look like a karate chop type hand. But it's actually supposed to be for the running scene you see in this show. Except the fact that, oh, here's actually the second one. It does come with two. It comes with two of each hand. Just want to point that out. But yeah, it's supposed to be to recreate the running scene. However, of course, this guy was a villain. He did not really run. He jumped, kicked, and flipped and whatnot. But yeah. Also has a fist hand. I believe I have the other fist right here. Yeah. I don't know how I got these so out of whack. But yeah, like I said, it comes with two of each hand. And it actually comes with a lot of leftover parts. Like one thing I want to point out, it says like white versions of the ankle guards here. And white parts, my bad, black parts for like the little white part here in the middle of the forearm there. So I thought that was very interesting. So if you wanted, you could do like an alternate color scheme to this thing. And it comes with plenty of decals left over, like the ones that go into the arms there. Now another accessory it comes with, I'm going to briefly kind of go over. Just slide all this crap out the way. Oh, and actually here, there you go. The entry plug fell. I didn't realize that. You guys have to time freeze when that happened. But we have the Shield of Virtue, which actually kind of separates. And then you can just kind of slide that in here and close it. But yeah, this is more so for Unit 0. And I'm going to go into it in detail with 0. But one thing I want to point out is there's a little piece here that lets you slide that in and out. And I have two hands here plugged in. As you can see, they're molded in Unit 0's color. So it's not going to look very good if I used it with him. But we're going to close out Unit 3 with a size comparison. So these are the Kotobukiya kits, and they are a bit bigger. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. This is Rare Model Reviews here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Jeez, I can't get him to stand up, but I recommend this.